Shalom, and welcome to Bible Stories as Blueprints of the Soul, your Biblical Hebrew podcast. Boker Tov and Shalom. Good morning and welcome to our Biblical Hebrew podcast. Today I wish to speak about one verse from Genesis 46:34. But before we read this verse or speak about it, we shall frame the conversation. The biblical scene. Brothers of Joseph are coming to Egypt to break the fast, to break the famine. And Joseph is preparing them to meet Pharaoh. And he tells his brothers that when Pharaoh will ask what do, they will say that their forefathers were taking care of flocks, and this is also what they do, and probably he will locate them in the land of Goshen. And then Joseph adds an interesting fact about the Egyptians. And I read the second part of the verse. Ba'avur teshvu be'eretz Goshen, for you shall sit in the land of Goshen, ki to'evat Mitzrayim kol ro'e tzon. For every shepherd is an abomination onto the Egyptians. And here is the place to ask the following question. If in a previous podcast we said that the Egyptians are worshipping lambs, or the lamb is the god of the Egyptians, so how can it be that the Egyptians hate every shepherd? Because usually lamb or lambs and shepherd, they go together. Let's look into the Hebrew words and their secrets. Shepherd in Hebrew is ro'eh. Ro'eh. Ro'eh is written in 3 letters. Resh, Ayin, He. Resh is 200, Ayin is 70, and He is 5. So the volume of Ro'eh, shepherd, is 275. The word for herd in Hebrew is Eder. Eder. The word Eder, herd, is written in 3 letters. Ayin, Daled, Resh. Ayin is 70, Daled is 4, and Resh is 200. So together the volume of the word Eder, herd, is 274. Now, let's look at the difference between the word Ro'eh, shepherd, and Eder, herd. Ro'eh, shepherd, is 275, and Eder, herd, is 274. So the distance between shepherd and a herd is 1. So what does it mean that the Egyptians hate shepherd? It means that they hate the unity. They hate the one. They hate the infinite. They hate the tree of life. They contempt it. So how can it be that the Egyptians worshipping the lamb and hating the shepherd? The lamb has 4 feet on the ground. They're worshipping the 4, the multiplicity. More and more externalities, but they hate the shepherd. They hate the one which unites all the lambs together. They hate the unity. They like the four, the multiplicity. They bow for it, to the four, and they reject and hate the one. As David beautifully wrote in Psalms 23, God is my shepherd, I shall not be lack. When God is our shepherd, we don't lack anything. But the Egyptians, they don't like this idea. They don't like God because if God is our shepherd, we don't lack anything. And the Egyptians, they want us to lack, to feel lack all the time, and to run after our lack, and to buy more things, and to increase our needs in the material. This is why they hate every shepherd, every sense of unity. And maybe this is the place to tell a little lore that is related to the land of Goshen. When Abraham, few generations before Joseph, because Joseph was the son of Jacob, that was the son of Isaac, that was the son of Abraham. In the times of Abraham and Sarah, there was a famine in the land of Canaan, and Abraham got closer to Egypt, but Sarah went inside. The Lord says that Pharaoh took her to be his wife because Abraham asked Sarah before they got closer to Egypt to say that they are brother and sister and not husband and wife. Because if the Egyptian will know that they are husband and wife, they'll probably kill Abraham and take Sarah. But in a relation of brother and sister, there is no problem. So this is how they introduced themselves to the Egyptians, as brother and a sister. And the Egyptians took Sarah to the palace of Pharaoh. And Pharaoh wanted to have her as a wife. So he wrote her a letter of marriage in which he promises the land of Goshen, the delta of the Nile, for her as a present of marriage, as a life mention. In Hebrew, la'achuzat olam. Pharaoh gave Sarah the letter of marriage. In Hebrew, ketubah, from ktav, which is writing plus the letter hey. He gave her the letter, but at night he was beaten by God. He was so beaten by God before he took her that he understood he does something wrong, and then he let her go. He released her back to her husband. But Sarah came out of Egypt with a letter that promises the land of Goshen for her, for infinite. Few generations after Abraham and Sarah, we find interesting picture. Their grandchildren are sitting in the land of Goshen as shepherd. The sages say something interesting about the word Goshen. Goshen. The word Goshen is written in 3 letters, Gimel, Shin, Nun. The volume of the word Goshen is 353. For Gimel is 3, Shin is 300 and Nun is 50. So the volume of Goshen is 353. A friend of Rabbi Moshe Chaim Luzzatto and a student, Rabbi Moshe David Valli, that lived in Italy in the 17th century. He was also a doctor. He wrote the following secret. He said that the volume of the word Goshen is 353. Like the word happiness in Hebrew, simcha. Simcha. Shin, mem, chet, he. Simcha. Happiness. And if we want to look into the secret, this is very interesting. Eretz Goshen, the land of Goshen, in a way is the delta of the Nile, before the Nile is pouring itself into the Mediterranean Sea. So, who can be happy? People who sit with their flocks at the end of the Nile. People that experience deep happiness, this is very interesting, is the people who sit at the end of the denial. When people stop to deny things, they are in a great happiness. This is the meaning of Eretz Goshen, because Eretz is not just a land or a ground, but also Eretz is from Ratzon, a will. So what does it mean, Eretz Goshen? If Goshen is happiness, simcha, it means the will to be happy. In other words, who sits in Eretz Goshen? The inner Eretz Goshen, who sits? The people who stopped denying things. And they are like shepherds. Because when people stop denying things, they look for the one. They look for the tree of life. They look for the infinite. And this will makes them happy. So this was our little conversation about the lamb, about the shepherd, about the Egyptians, and about the land of Goshen. We wish you a beautiful day and wonderful week. Thank you for listening to Bible Stories as Blueprints of the Soul. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you have any questions, comments, or would like to hear more about a certain topic, just write us an email to hebrew@learnoutlive.com. We are always happy to hear from you. For more episodes, videos, and articles like this, please visit our website at hebrew.learnoutlive.com. We also would like to invite you to join our live classes. Just search for Online College of Biblical Hebrew on Facebook and start learning now with students from all over the world. Kol Tuv and Shalom.